Well, when Libras are younger,
Yeah.
I feel like, or at least when as you age in general, you kind of start to express the more refined parts of your sign. So, like the unrefined part is Libras. They're like, oh, they can't make a decision. They don't know. They're always weighing two options, or they can be very petty, or
Yeah.
whatever. But what Libra really means is, it's the scales, it's a balance, it's
Yeah.
finding balance.
Yeah.
And so as Libras like mature, that is really a big like thing for them is the balance and the finding balance. I have your birth chart open right here.
Okay.
Okay. So for this first segment, we're just gonna go through your chart.
Yes.
And then I'm going to tell all the girlies what can you find in your chart that can talk about who is your marriage partner? Because this chart, it's full of potentials, and we usually have a type, or we tend to attract a certain type of person.
Sadly.
So your birth chart actually tells you a lot about that and where can you meet this person, and it's actually very descriptive. So we're gonna go through yours,
Okay.
and we're gonna tell you how to go through yours. Okay. So
Come on. Read me.
you're a Libra,
I am.
ruled by your rising sign is Sagittarius.
Yes, it is.
Okay. Which means that your ruling planet is Jupiter.
Okay.
So even though you're a Libra,
Yeah.
you're really a Sag.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Your rising sign is actually a lot more important than your sun sign.
Okay.
Okay?
Is that how people are perceiving me, correct?
How people perceive you, how
Okay.
your personality comes across,
Okay.
And like even like your appearance, like your style, okay? So across from Sagittarius is the 7th house.
Okay.
The first house is you,
Yeah.
and the 7th house is them.
Okay.
Okay. So the 7th house, what's across from your rising sign,
Okay.
is going to describe your partner. Okay.
Okay.
So the opposite of Sagittarius is Gemini.
Oh no. Oh
So,
no. We see how this ends.
yeah, you might be attracted to people who have Gemini like qualities. And we all know a Gemini.
Kim and Kanye.
Oh, the Gemini and the Libra.
It's not, they made me very much afraid of
just
that comma. I
Whoa.
can't.
You just blew my mind.
Yeah.
Okay, let's not think about them.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, Kim and Kanye. That's it. That was a moment.
Yeah, yeah. It was a beautiful merging of worlds. I will give
Yes.
it that. And it was a
Worlds
lasting
collided.
love. It just didn't last forever romantically.
Yeah, yeah.
They have kids.
It was a well.
A lot of them.
It lasted in that regard. Yeah, they will never be rid of each other in that way.
And I have an issue with collecting infinity stones.
Yeah, no. So you have to, cause yeah, that's like karma. Like you get karma from your partner. Sometimes the karma is the kids.
Yeah.
But so Gemini,
Gemini placements
Gemini placements,
in the big three.
not necessarily.
Okay.
Okay, but the person definitely has mercurial things about them because Gemini is ruled by Mercury.
Yeah.
Mercury is about talking, speech. They're always traveling. It's like movement, movement. They're always moving.
Would Scorpios be mercurial?
Yeah.
Okay, that's funny.
And it's funny that you say that because your Mercury, which rules that, is in Scorpio.
Yes.
So that person could be a Scorpio,
Okay.
right? And your Scorpio is in the 10th house. So what does that mean? It means that you meet your person in a place of work.
Okay, that makes sense.
You meet your person when you're publicly out there and out and about,
Okay.
right? So the 10th house is the house of our career. It is also it could be your boss. Right?
Okay.
It could be it's definitely someone who's
I'm
probably
not mad at
older
that.
than you
Okay.
because it's in your 10th house, which
Okay.
kind of rules someone who is like your superior.
Okay.
Okay, it rules daddy.
I like learning from a
You know
partner.
what I'm saying? And learning as well,
Yeah.
because Mercury is learning and like speaking. You and this person probably will just talk and talk and yap and yap.
Yeah.
So there's that. This Mercury is right by your sun.
Okay.
So that means that, you know, there's this aspect of like you are speaking you are speaking publicly.
Yeah.
So like it's kind of like maybe you're out in the world, you know, and you're being yourself, being pressure point,
Mm-hmm.
and then suddenly this person pops out of nowhere.
I have a story.
Oh yeah?
So that actually happened to me recently. But they were a Cancer.
Okay.
They were a Cancer. I met them at one of my shows
Mhm.
after, and we just connected. They ended up coming to me. We kept. I was with a crew of girls, and we were basically about to go club hopping,
Okay.
and I invited him to come club hop with us.
Mhm.
And it got to the point where we got to our last destination. All the girls ended up getting a little drunky on her
Mhm.
and
As we
couldn't
do.
hang. So we sent them on their way.
Yeah.
So, which was nice because I wanted to spend some alone time with him anyway. I
Yeah.
love my girls, but I don't got time to babysit.
Sorry, girls.
Keep it cute. So, yeah, he was a Cancer, and we had a he was like my boyfriend for like
For the
10
night.
hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I got with him at 10 and I didn't get home until 5 a.m.
That's the
So,
best though.
I love
That's
that.
awesome.
I love that. Now we're avoiding each other.
Mm. Well, Geminis are also avoidant.
Well, he's a Cancer.
He's a Cancer, but he has other stuff going on in
He
your
does
chart.
have other stuff going on.
So even though, you might have your big three,
Yeah.
but you, like, for example, you have a lot of Scorpio energy in your chart.
It's kind of crazy.
So there's a lot, even though you're a Sag and you're also a Libra,
Yeah.
there's a lot of Scorpio there. So it's like this person could be a Cancer, but they could also have a lot of Scorpio.
True.
Take notes, girls.
True.
The big three doesn't necessarily mean you have to see the chart.
Yeah.
I don't know how you're gonna end up finding his time of birth.
You know, those are like prerequisites at this point.
Yeah.
At least for the queers, it's like, let me
So,
get into it.
what time were you born? Just curious. Can you call your
No.
mom?
Oh, you don't have a relationship with your mom? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Love you though.
Like, I release you with love.
Yes.
So, yeah. So, girlies at home, I need you to whip out your charts on the table. Okay. And I need you, if you don't know your time of birth, I'm so sorry. Maybe hit me up individually, but look to your seventh house, which is this.
Okay. How
Okay.
can I Okay, so this would be the identifier where that number 7.
Where this little arrow is.
Okay.
Yeah, where
Because I've
so
always wondered, like, when people were talking about, like, 7th house, 4th house, the boots, I'm like, girl, I only got one house. I don't know.
yeah. Right. I don't have multiple properties. Your houses all represent different areas of life.
Okay.
So like, your first house is you, right? And then what's directly across from that is them.
Okay.
So even though it talks about, your marriage partner, it's literally everybody that you interact with in your life. So
Yeah.
you might have a lot of Gemini friends,
Yeah.
or maybe your mom is a Gemini,
Yeah.
or has Gemini something. Yeah.
My mom's a Virgo.
Okay, but
I
that's
know.
still Mercury,
Yeah.
ruled by
Okay.
Mercury. So it's like
Okay.
even though, you know, the first person you ever interacted with was your mom, so that's
Yeah.
why the seventh house can be your mom.
Okay.
But when you look at the seventh house in your chart, you're also looking at what your first marriage partner will be like, where you meet them. Yeah,
Jesus.
it's pretty mind blowing, and like I've actually met multiple people who fit the bill of my seventh house. Almost married one of them. I know,
Girl, God bless.
scalding tea. And currently, I have a crush on another one.
We like crushes.
I love crushes.
Child, just bathe me with love, please. If you want to take me shopping, get some coffee,
Right.
I
You
love
want to
some
get me food?
quality.
You want to like cuddle me?
Adorn me.
Ad-
Like,
Come
co-
on.
we all deserve to be loved.
Right. And the person who's gonna love you, well, could love you because sometimes your seventh house says, "Hey, babes, your first marriage might
And
not be great."
Jesus.
Sometimes you look at charts and it's like, "Hey, babes, it's destined for you
Yeah.
to be divorced
Okay.
at least once because this is a lesson that you have to learn in this life."
Are you talking about me though?
I'm not talking about
Specifically?
you, babes. No.
Oh my
I'm not
god.
talking about you. No. What's in your seventh house is the parts of fortune. So I feel like you will feel like this person is a blessing to you.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's
I
also
love that.
Vesta, which is an asteroid, and Cupido, which is also an asteroid. Cupido represents being struck by love. It's Cupid.
Okay.
Vesta represents the fires that never stop burning.
Okay.
In Rome, there were the Vestal Virgins and the Vestal fires, the fire that never went out at the gates of the city.
Okay.
So it's like the fire that keeps on burning. You might be a type of person in a relationship. Let's keep the show going.
Okay.
Let's
Yeah.
keep the show on the road. You know what I'm saying? And you're a Libra, so you get struck by love a lot, but
Yeah.
the person that you end up being with, it's probably a situation like that where you're like,
Yeah.
who
Love
is
at first
this?
sight
Yeah,
vibes.
yeah,
Okay. 'Cause I'm
most
like,
definitely.
I know I do definitely get bored easily with
Yeah,
men specifically, but
which is
I
fair.
yeah, but I know that my loyalty will allow me to stick it out through the boringness. So I'm like, okay, I
Hmm.
wouldn't mind a Gemini because they would always keep me on my toes.
Yeah, and it's like yeah, of course, there's moments where it's boring, and then
Yeah,
you, of course, it's not always gonna be exciting,
yeah,
but there's so much value to having those moments too, because then you really get to see like, okay, who are you really?
yeah.
You're just so you're just watching Netflix and we're not going nowhere. We're not doing anything.
Exactly. I could have did this by myself over my homegirls.
Right. Right.
Well, what are we doing?
I have a man.
And we just watching movies.
I would
We
just
need to be making movies.
right.
I just stop.
So let's move on to the next indicator of love. Okay, so your seventh house is one.
Okay.
The fifth house is another one. So if the seventh house is commitment,
Mhm.
I am marrying you.
Okay.
We're signing a document, where this is a committed relationship. The fifth house is like, oh girl, we're just having fun.
Okay.
We're just having a good time. And in your fifth house, you have Taurus.
I do like to have fun with the Tauruses.
The Tauruses are very sensual individuals. I have my Mars in Taurus, so I understand very well.
Uh huh.
The Tauruses they just love to take it slow.
Mhm.
It's like to take their time. You know what I'm saying? In your fifth house, for those just tuning in, I'm Saviaun. I'm an astrologer. This is Horoscope, a podcast that talks about all things astrology. I'm here with Akia,
Hello.
also known as Pressure Point.
Yes.
I'm feeling the pressure right now.
Come on. We only gonna get hotter.
And we're talking about how can you find love indicators in your birth chart? What do I look for in my birth chart to figure out who is my partner?
Yeah.
How do I find them?
Yeah.
When do I find them? All of these are questions that can be answered with a birth chart, which is kind of crazy. So the seventh house, marriage.
Okay.
The fifth house is dating.
Okay.
It's also sex. It's also fun. Things are just fun. Dating is fun. You know what I'm saying? It's just for the pleasure of it.
Yeah.
There's not necessarily any commitment.
Yeah.
And you have Taurus there.
Yeah.
Taurus, also ruled by Venus, planet of sensuality, of luxury,
Mm-hmm.
of good food, good times, good feelings, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Is in your fifth house. So, how do you have fun? You probably have a nice sensual experience, whether that be
Yeah.
take me out to eat,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Take me for a drink,
Yeah.
give me a massage,
Quality time.
and quality time.
Yeah.
I need I also it's like there's also like a sense of like stimulation.
Mm-hmm.
I need like I need a sensual experience.
Yeah.
Even if being with you is a sensual experience, like just feeling you, like being with
Mm-hmm.
you is a sensual experience, but I need the sensuality. Does
Yeah.
that resonate with you?
No, completely. Because I think, one, I've been with a lot of Tauruses. I'm always attracted to Tauruses in my life. It's kind of crazy. But
I'm so sorry.
I know.
I
But
love you,
I
Tauruses.
love,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm
I
sorry.
really do love them, though. I
I'm
really
sorry.
do. But yeah, there's a certain level of appreciation for the beauty that life can
Yeah.
offer that I think is a mutual understanding. So it is a very all the relationships I've had with Tauruses have been very sensual or very, yeah, like I would say amorous. Yeah, is the word. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
amored by them and
Right.
the
It's
love
like
is amorous.
your embraces, you know,
Yeah.
like it's just yeah.
Yeah.
So look to your fifth house. The sign can tell you a lot
Okay.
about your dating experience,
Okay.
what you might find fun and what you might like in that regard,
Okay.
and also the sign of the person who you could
Okay.
end up dating.
So can we explore this fifth house a little bit more?
Yeah, so you have three placements there.
Okay.
Okay. You have Black Moon Lilith,
Okay.
which Black Moon Lilith is an asteroid
Okay.
that represents it represents I don't want to out you right
Out
now.
me.
It's
I'm coming out.
it's very much giving so the story of Lilith, right? Lilith was Adam's first wife.
Okay, I remember that. Come on, biblical.
Right. So Eve is Adam's rib.
Yeah.
She's not even a real person. She's not her own person.
Mhm.
She's a creation of him.
Mhm.
So like, you know, the idea that woman should fit a man's standard or whatever, that's a creation of a man. You know
Mhm.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So Eve is his rib.
Yeah.
Lilith was made at the same time as Adam, and why they fell out was because she said, "I'm not doing missionary. I'm not laying on my back for you. We're the same.
You doing the bending.
You doing depending. Okay? I'm not doing that." And as a result, they said,
All right.
"Get out.
Off with your head.
Off with your head. You're
Back
going to
to heaven.
hell.
Oh my gosh, she went to hell?
Hell to
She
be the mother of all demons." So
Okay.
she represents female empowerment.
I love that.
She represents Black Moon Lilith, kind of, you know, I'm not taking no shit.
Yeah.
And also, regardless of the shame, because it also represents shame, because, you know, she was shamed for speaking her mind,
Yeah.
for speaking her truth.
Yeah. Her
And
desires.
her desires, there's no, you know, so Black Moon Lilith is about shame, but it's also about empowerment
Okay.
through shame.
I love that. And I so happen to be a faggot. So
Right. And that must have been an experience for you earlier in life.
for sure.
And it reflects in the chart that there was this feeling of shame,
Yeah.
but through that can come like empowerment.
Yeah.
So you might be attracted to people who they might be on the darker side.
I
They might love a choker or to be choked.
I'm kind of here for that.
Or a little rope or a little whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
A little fun.
A little fun. And so that's what that represents in your chart. It's pretty much like the south node is there too, which
Okay.
kind of is it's like a compulsive like thing. It's like I feel like I'm like I want to be dating.
Okay.
It's like this feeling in your gut.
Yeah.
I want to fuck.
Yeah.
I want to, you know, like, and so it's just That's what
As
this.
present,
Yeah,
it's always forever present.
it's kind of like your lizard brain.
Yes.
Your lizard brain says "fuck me"
Or fuck them.
or "fuck them." Sorry, verse top.
You know, verse top. Let's don't
Let me
erase
put some
me.
respect on your name. I'm so sorry. So yeah, so whatever is in your fifth house can really tell the story of romance and dating for you.
Okay.
And the sign that rules your fifth house,
Okay.
which for you is Venus,
Okay.
which is in Scorpio,
Okay.
like many other things in your chart, can also bring more context to that story. So that brings us to the next thing,
Okay.
which is Venus.
Okay.
Venus in our charts represent love. It represents beauty, the things that we like. It
Mm-hmm.
could be music, it could be a person, but since this is a love episode, it's a person. We're talking about a person, okay? Venus in your chart is in Scorpio, which is debilitated. And if you have Venus in Scorpio or Aries, which I have Venus in Aries, we're two debilitated Aries, two debilitated Venuses here. So
Why,
there's
Joe?
no shame.
Why?
What, right?
Why, Joe? Why?
Personally, I am asking the same question because so you're telling me that in my chart it says that I'm supposed to have not a great experience when it comes to romance?
Child, the way it's been panning out,
So here's the thing.
the prophecy's fulfilled.
Same. Same. Here's the thing. It doesn't necessarily mean you're doomed to never find romance or
Yeah.
love if you have a debilitated Venus, that's
Yeah.
Venus in Aries or Scorpio. It doesn't mean that you're never going to find love. It just means that finding love or having those romantic experiences is hard,
Yeah.
or it doesn't pan out as it should.
Yeah.
When you have Venus in Libra or you have Venus in Pisces or Taurus, that's when you have these very stereotypical romantic experiences. Oh, he took me out, he bought me flowers, and it was so nice, and da da da.
Okay.
Unfortunately, that is not our life.
It's not.
But it doesn't mean that we don't have amazing, powerful romantic experiences.
Mm-hmm.
Having Venus in Scorpio, it means that your love is deep.
Yeah.
There's nothing surface level about your romances. There's always a level of depth.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And you have to have that.
Yeah.
I feel like in order to have a romance, you have to have it surface level,
Yeah.
at least in the beginning.
Yeah.
And that's not for you.
Yeah.
Same for me. I, as a Venus in Aries, all about that action, babes. And action doesn't necessarily happen right away. We're not necessarily walking down the aisle immediately.
Yeah. But you know, there's some movement. There's a pipeline, a lesbian
Yeah.
pipeline.
Right. Yeah,
Happening.
exactly. I was born to be a lesbian, really. The U-Haul is in my spirit. But
Card carrying.
card carrying,
I keep that
honorary. Right. The key to the U-Haul. So yeah. So yeah, your Venus is in the 11th house. It's in Scorpio.
Okay.
So you might fall in love
Mm-hmm.
real deep. And that might not always be comfortable
Yeah.
in situations where
It's not being
it's
reciprocated.
not being reciprocated.
Yeah.
So, and as a Venus Aries, it's like I will meet someone. I'm like, oh my God, amazing, incredible.
Yeah.
Sparks are flying.
Yeah.
I think I love you. We met 3 weeks ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Child, it can sometimes be one day
Yeah.
after one meet. I'm like
real?
obsessed.
For real. I'm just
And it's
like,
not like, and it's just more so like I think it's an impulsive, like you said in the chart, impulsive addiction of love. Like,
it's
once-
intoxicating.
yeah, and I want to overindulge in it.
Yeah, no, I feel you. And so that's not necessarily the most comfortable
Yeah.
way to have a romance. And it sucks. But as you get older, it's like you will find that situation where,
Hmm.
oh well, this is fine. Like the this way that I'm experiencing this is okay. It's
Yeah.
not like problematic. You know what I'm saying? So there's Venus, guys. So look at your Venus sign. Look at your Venus house. Your house is the 11th house,
And whatever is directly across from that.
is the 5th house
Okay.
of dating.
Okay.
So your Venus is in exile, as we like to say, which means that it's across from where it's supposed to be.
Okay.
It's and so you might feel like, yeah, it's like if I could be parts of your world. It's like, unfortunately, like it feels like it's far away. Like it feels like the ideal situation
Yeah.
is not what's happening, and it
Hmm.
can like make that situation happen in your life. But you're a very dedicated person to whoever you love, because you have Juno, which is the asteroid that represents marriage in the chart,
Okay.
right next to Venus. So like you're the way you love is you you you're dedicated to that person, like you're committed to that person. Anyway, let's move on to Mars. So Venus is the love. It's the lovey-dovey,
Yeah.
cutesy, romantic. Mars is the action. Mars is sex. Okay? Mars is your drive, your impulse, right? So it talks about what you sexually it talks about what you sexually attracted to, what you
Okay.
like sexually,
Okay.
okay? And it talks about like also just like, when you and a person have placements that are like in a good place with each other, your Venus and your Mars.
Okay.
If your Mars is good with his Venus and his Mars is good with your Mars, these are the things that we're looking at in a chart to see if you
Okay.
guys are compatible or not.
Okay.
Okay? Sexually, romantically.
Okay.
So your Mars, get to know your Mars. Your Mars is in Leo.
The big one, not the little.
The big one. Leo is loud.
Yeah,
You love to make noise.
I do. I want to feel liberated.
Yes, exactly. Freedom.
Yes,
To
expressive.
freedom. Exactly.
Madonna,
Yes.
express yourself.
Mhm. And you also want to feel cared for,
Yeah,
because Ceres, which is asteroid that represents parenting, shepherding, that type of vibe, that's what you want. You want to be cradled,
yeah,
or cradle.
yeah.
And it's in the 8th house.
Okay.
The 8th house is kind of like, you know, we're not supposed to be doing this.
Yeah.
We're in a club. Oh my god! Like
Oh, that's a demure sign.
what
That's a demure asteroid?
series?
Yes.
She can be demure. I mean, it's really about feeling cared for
Okay, okay.
and caring.
Considered.
Yeah,
Okay.
but in the 8th house, there's a little twist.
Okay.
It's kind of, like the 8th house is like what's mine is yours,
Okay.
and that's, you can just let your imagination run wild with that one.
I'm
But
here for that.
what's mine is yours. You know what I'm saying?
I
We're
like it.
exchanging things. So, yeah. So just to recap, if you want to know what your partner is like, if
Yeah.
you want to know how you experience romance and love, you're looking at Venus, you're looking
Mhm.
at Mars, you're looking at your 7th house, and you're looking at your 5th house. Okay? I feel like maybe I don't know the i- if how intermediate or beginner or expert people are. If you know you might need help to figure out what those things are, feel free to hit me up. I love doing this.
Mhm.
I could talk about this forever. So I don't know. I want to help people figure their stuff out because I think astrology in general is a great tool to like see things from a different perspective when you're not in your own head, you're in your own self.
Mhm.
It gives you an opportunity to see things how other people might see it,
Mhm.
or just like how was I like designed, how was I made to kind of be.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean that you can't be anything else, but
This is the social engineering.
yeah, this
Yeah.
is how my environment has made me.
Yeah.
This is how the conditioning has made me.
Yeah.
You can do anything you want with that, but really once you become aware of that, that's when you can start to do something about it and change it. If that's the, you know. So I've told you all this stuff about your Scorpio Venus,
Yeah.
your seventh house, that Gemini. Maybe you should give them a chance a little bit.
I'm always great friends with Geminis.
Yeah.
It just ends up getting it to a point where it's like, same with Leos. Y'all start doing too damn much.
Mm.
They do too much, and I get turned off by it, or they're too attracted to the light,
To the what?
to the light,
Mm.
to the light, opposed to just being it.
Mm.
That they forget that that they generate that from within, opposed
Mm.
to finding it and standing in it.
I see.
So I am definitely like attracted to a refined lover, I'm so over it, demure. But yeah, I
A
like
demure lover.
yeah, I love boastful, love braggadocious. Cause I want to be with somebody that knows confidently who they are, but they don't have to be the loudest in the room to do
Mm.
that. It should just
Yeah.
radiate via aura.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's definitely that Leo Mars. Like when you that's what jumped out to me because yeah, Leo is that. It's confidence.
Yeah.
It's shining brightly,
Yeah.
and even if you're not the loudest person in the room. So I feel like my advice to you,
Okay.
even though Gemini's might not fit your bill,
Yeah.
find someone with Gemini placements.
Okay.
Like in your seventh house might not necessarily describe the sign of the person that you will be with, but it can describe the qualities.
Okay.
So like this person definitely there's something with speech,
Okay.
or it could also be traveling.
Okay.
You know, do you have any questions for me?
I'm just processing. I'm like,
Yeah,
this is so much information.
I
Like I'm like,
know.
I am I'm overwhelmed in the best way
Oh.
possible. Cause I'm like, oh, I'm like just retracing like I'm 30 now, so I have had a good amount of time
Yeah.
of being in the field with pursuing love or trying
Mhm.
to conjure it a bit. And yeah, so I'm just running through my memory bank of current, past, and yeah, disposed of
Yeah.
love.
In the trash.
Yes.
Well, you know, yeah.
Okay, so what else? What else? What else?
So the last thing I have is the vertex. Now,
Okay.
the vertex describes a point of fate. It's a mathematical calculation in your chart. It's not like a physical thing in the sky. It's like
Mm-hmm.
a mathematical calculation between points.
Okay.
So when you have the vertex with someone, like let's say that your vertex is in Leo and their sun is in Leo, right on top of your vertex or
Okay.
something like that, um, means that you and this person have like a fated connection.
Yeah.
Okay, so fate, I feel like, is more woo woo than people would like to, but it is real.
Yeah.
Like it's literally like if you didn't wear this shirt on this day and show up at this place and do this and da da da, then you would have never met that person.
Which is so damn true.
Happens
Like
all the time.
that's where the magic actually begins.
Yeah.
So I think people are so removed from that part. They see only like the show
Yeah.
of magic and what like the end result was like, no, that whole setup and just even you getting into the ambiance
Yeah,
is the magic.
literally, quite literally.
The smoke and mirror.
The
Yeah.
veil.
The veil.
Yeah, because yeah, what's happening underneath
Yeah.
the hood? You know,
Exactly.
what's all of this like kismet? Like how is it that we ended up in the same place at the same time
Yeah.
and ended up in a conversation together?
Yeah. Out of all the people that we could have ended in a conversation with in a
Right.
room.
And those things definitely have meaning, like
Yeah.
significance. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it's only for yourself.
Yeah.
Sometimes I end up having an argument with someone because I was meant to process things a certain way or
Yeah.
whatever. And it's not about the relationship or,
Mm-hmm.
oh, I just got a question. Okay, the perfection year. So the perfection year is basically when you enter a new birthday,
Yeah.
you a certain house is activated
Oh.
in your chart.
Okay.
And so you have what's called a time lord.
Okay.
Just basically the planet that rules that house
Okay.
is activated.
Okay.
So I'm gonna need to jog my memory because I don't remember what 30 is.
Because I am still in my Saturn return. So I'm like, child, please let him take over it. So, please,
Well,
Lord, be with
you
us.
know something? I think that I mean I can't speak because I've only been through my Saturn square. I cannot speak on Saturn returns really because I
Yes.
haven't been through it myself.
I'm an old hoe. Sorry, y'all. I'm the first old whore of horoscope.
One thing I know about Saturn returns though
Yes.
is that this is one of the most pivotal moments of your life.
It is.
And your Saturn return is life defining. It's a moment where everything that you've learned up until that point gets put into use.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like a test from Daddy Saturn.
Yeah.
Daddy Saturn said, I put all these obstacles in your way. I have basically kicked you down and made you climb up with your bare hands and whatever so that you can be strong.
Okay.
So what have you learned? I'm like, sometimes Daddy Saturn is not nice.
It is not nice at all. It's been trials and tribulations that I found beauty within.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your Saturn is in Pisces.
Yeah.
And I will say that with Saturn in Pisces, because, yeah, I've met some other people right now who are going through their Saturn return. Saturn in Pisces is a doozy because Saturn in Pisces is putting structure where there is none. It's going into a new frontier, a new field of the unknown,
Yeah.
and finding structure and creating like
Yeah.
you know um,
Organization.
organization in a place that's like it feels like a no man's land.
Yeah.
Mars, I'm gonna get to your question. My phone is not doing the thing it's supposed to do. Let me just use my brain. Okay, so if you're when you're 23, that's your
Okay.
12th house perfection year.
Okay.
So 24 is your first. That's your 7th house perfection year, babes.
Okay.
Wow. So
Okay.
the 7th house perfection year is all about other people,
Oh.
which is, I mean, it's not necessarily bad. It just means you're making connections, you're building,
Yes.
connections, you're meeting people,
I am.
and this year is a lot about interacting with other people.
Okay.
It's also partnerships, the 7th house, as we spoke about before. So you could maybe relationships might also be a focus this year too.
Okay.
It's ruled. So look at the ruler of your 7th house, right? If you're 30 and you're at your 7th house perfection year, look at the ruler of your 7th house. Yours is in Gemini,
Mm-hmm.
so the ruler of your 7th house is in Scorpio. Okay. I guess I will also say that when the ruler is Mercury, I feel like there's a lot of stuff changing all the time because Mercury is literally super changeable, always changing. So you might notice that like every like 2 weeks
Yeah.
there's like another thing.
Child.
There's a new thing every 2 weeks because Mercury literally changes signs every 2 weeks.
Okay.
So if you're going by Mercury, by the Time Lord, it's like there's just this
Always something going on.
always something going on.
Yeah.
And it's always just we're just talking, we're moving. Next club, another place, no sleep. That's what it's giving
Okay.
for your seventh house perfection year.
Okay. Trying to achieve balance?
Definitely. I mean, Gemini is not about balance.
Yeah, no.
Gemini,
They run away from it.
yeah, the balance is will come. The balance will come. You know, you're a
Yeah,
Libra. You're
yeah.
just balance,
Yeah.
or at least you strive for that. Some people, balance is nowhere in the equation, babes.
Extremes.
Balance. What is that like? Some type of fragrance? That's just not a thing. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, okay.
But you know, how can you find balance, right? If is that what you
Yeah, within that.
within the chaos?
Yeah, because I'm like, okay, like, if they're my Time Lord, child, I like, how do I call her in? Who do I pray to? Like,
Yeah.
what's going
No,
on?
I feel you. Well, you know, Mercury, it changes signs a lot. I
Yeah.
would say, kind of, if you can, pay
Yeah.
attention to what sign Mercury is in,
Okay.
because then you can kind of get in the mode of that.
Okay.
So, like for example, right now, Mercury is in, which I haven't really, it's in Scorpio, which is your natal Mercury.
Yeah.
So you're having a Mercury return right now. It's back in the sign that it's in your birth chart.
Yeah.
It's literally at the fucking degree that it is in your birth chart
Okay, period.
right now
Period.
in this very moment.
Somehow I feel balanced.
But you know, like for example with Scorpio,
Yeah.
it's about excavating, getting to the bottom,
Yeah.
which is kind of what we're doing.
Yeah.
You know, and in this time, like those things, like those processes might help you be more aligned with the moment. Investigation. Why am I feeling like this? Why did I do this thing? Why, you know, kind of like really digging for right now. That's what you should do.
All right, just get to the root of it.
Get to the roots. You know
Okay.
what I'm saying? And then
And the it can be whatever, or is the it me?
what do you mean?
The it, when I'm getting to the root of.
It's because it's a ruler of your seventh house, it's really about relationships.
Okay, okay.
But it's also the ninth house is your beliefs because it rules the ninth house as well.
Okay.
So your beliefs, it's definitely a year to like being in a year ruled by Mercury, and Mercury is ruling this and that. It's definitely a year to dig into your beliefs,
Okay.
to dig into your relationships, to
Yeah.
investigate
Yeah.
with your Scorpio Mercury,
Okay.
and to literally like why do I have this belief? Why, you know, why?
Mm-hmm. Child, I'm still trying to figure out my why in every scenario, whether it's from like revolutionary, organizing. That's been like a common theme in general for life for me. And I get that maybe just be a part of my Saturn return too, is really like reestablishing and regrounding myself in my why outside of it just being like for the broader sense, but my specific when I'm alone at night, what is my why, my most vulnerable
Yeah, like what is
truth?
my why for me?
Yeah.
Your Saturn is in the third house.
Okay.
Do you have siblings?
I'm the second oldest of seven.
Okay. So you have siblings.
I have to.
I feel like right now your siblings are a big, at least with your Saturn return, your siblings are a big theme.
They are.
So I feel like you said you're the second oldest of seven.
Mm-hmm.
So everyone is younger.
Yes, and that's just on my mother's side.
So you have more?
I have more.
Wow.
I know.
It's a big happy family though.
Yeah, it feels nice to not be alone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. That's amazing. That's amazing. So I feel like your Saturn return definitely has to do with your many siblings.
Yeah.
Like because the third house rules your siblings.
Okay.
So and maybe putting boundaries.
Yeah.
Maybe and it's also the way that you speak. It's like the your day-to-day commutes and your day-to-day kind of traveling from place to place or your community as well. The
Yeah.
third house is your community.
Okay.
Your age mates,
Okay.
your cousins, your brothers, your sisters, the people who are in your community who are your peers.
Yeah.
So uh, having your Saturn return there, it's like that is like a foundational, pivotal. That's where all of that stuff is going on
Okay.
with your siblings, with your community. That's where all of the pivotal stuff is going on. And we're literally,
That.
you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, um, I think that the balance comes when you the security comes, especially in your Saturn return, when you can learn where to put the stops
Yeah.
for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Because Pisces is like I said, it's a no man's land. Like it's it's literally like an amorphous like blob that like I don't know what this is.
Yeah.
And how do I and it's your mind and your emotions. How do I learn where to put the stops? And I think for the next until 2026, you'll be going through your Saturn return.
Uh-huh.
So that's the lesson basically during this time. And anybody else who's going through their Saturn return, look to the house that it's in. But the lesson really is how do I put boundaries in a place where there is none? When Saturn entered Pisces March of last year, I don't know if you remember that Ocean Gate submarine
I do remember that
with the guy with
actually.
the game controller. Yeah, that was a huge news story at the time that Saturn moved into Pisces.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's kind of like telling the story of what Saturn in Pisces means. It literally imploded because its boundaries were not strong enough to hold it at the bottom of the sea. The
Okay.
weight of the ocean crushed it because it didn't have the reinforcements that it needed to have. So it's like that is a lesson for all of the people going through their Saturn return right now. If you have Saturn in Pisces, it's like how do I hold my reinforcements? Let's not control a submarine with an Xbox controller.
Yeah.
you know, like how do I do that? And it's difficult. It's Pisces is also like fading away into nothing.
Okay.
You know,
They're
How-
one of the oldest signs, right?
it's this.
Pisces.
It's the sign that represents all signs.
Oh wow.
So at the end of the zodiac, it's the last sign of the zodiac, and it's like all the signs in one.
Okay.
Which is why it's so like I don't know what this is. Like it's just this huge amorphous blob. It's like it's like being confused, being like um delusional, okay? Like being jaded, like not seeing clearly
Yeah.
because it's all the signs in one sign.
Yeah.
It's like overwhelming.
Yeah.
A cacophony of like everything going on, everything everywhere all at once. So when everything and everywhere is happening all at once, how do you put boundaries to be able to save yourself from being crushed under the weight of the ocean? and that's the Saturn in Pisces
Okay.
journey for
Okay.
all of my Saturn in Pisces out there. I can't speak to what that experience is like because I my Saturn is in Taurus,
Yeah.
but I will say that that is what people with Saturn in Pisces should tackle. How do I manage all of this pressure without, you know, turning to things that make me fade away.
Yeah.
Pisces is drugs, it's alcohol, it's like, it's escapism.
Yeah.
How do I not default to that and still stay, you know, okay.
Okay. Wow, this has been so beautifully like comprehensive and really like you provided so much more than I could have ever even thought of. I'd definitely be
Thank you.
taking this with me.
Thank you. I do this for my clients.
Yeah.
Um and I feel like we didn't, we're having a show here. I couldn't really get into the reading and like do it step by step as I wanted to, but I'm glad that you were able to, that this resonated with you and
Yeah.
that like it hopefully when you walk away that the things that I've said can help you in your life and in the next couple of years as you continue to go through your Saturn return.
Yeah.
And thank you so much for not only being on this show, but providing the platform for me to even have this show. Thank you.
Well, I appreciate it. Like I like from the moment I even came across you and your work, I knew I wanted to work with you in some level of capacity. So I'm just happy that like yeah, like I said, to be the first old whore, a part of horoscope, and it means a lot. And I'm so excited to just see your growth and how you blossom into yeah in this space as a personality. You're a gift to this community. So
Oh my
I'm
God.
very excited for folks to know and intimately who we have. So,
Thank you. Thank you so much. And thank you everybody for watching. Don't forget to follow Masisi Radio. And if you'd like to follow me individually, you can follow me at Astrovion
mm-hmm,
or my main page, Saviaun. That's Saviaun or Astroviaun.
mm-hmm.
Do you have any final remarks?
Y'all should book them. Yeah, get they need clients. They are providing something that is really helpful and really I feel like a lot of us are moving through a space right now of confusion and don't really know what tomorrow could actually bring for us, and it's helpful to have healers like that in our community that we have access to, that they may not be able to provide all the answers but they'll be able to help you guide on your way
Yes.
to an answer, at least light the path to whatever yeah your answer is. So don't be afraid to explore alternative spirituality practice. Don't be afraid to explore and reach out to advisors and healers that have been gifted this in their world. So yeah, stay tuned
Stay tuned.
next time.